Hello, and welcome to The Connecting Point. I am Dr. Marcy, your facilitator for this discussion today. And this is the place where creators connect to inspire, share their ideas and stories to change the world, transform the world through raw and unedited talk. And today I'm so excited because this is the love edition. Oh Lord, this is our Valentine edition. Even if it airs after Valentine's, we talking about love. Love. And so I have some favorite people on here, and we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to talk about their journey to this love experience. Yes, to hopefully inspire others. To be patient and to wait and whatever on the right thing. And so Tab and Martinez, I have to tell the connecting point because that's the name of the platform.
Yes.
Well, my sister you see on the other end, oh Lord, it's over 30 years, 30 plus.
Yes.
Maybe about 40 then, right, Tab?
Yep, that's right.
I have been knowing Tab. Did we go to elementary school together too?
Barney Show?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Elementary through high.
Yeah.
Been knowing each other. And so we live not far from each other. We could throw a rock.
That's right. Yes.
Know her family, just wonderful people. So I've been knowing Tab a long. Tabitha Dorsey was her maiden name.
That's right.
But she has since gone through a journey, and she ended up with this wonderful gentleman next to her. And I know he's wonderful because my sister doing good. He got to be wonderful.
Yes.
Mr. Martinez Green, welcome, y'all. And I learned of him, of course, through her.
That's right.
But they're both from Athens, Georgia.
Yes.
The love of mine to Athens, GA. And so y'all, welcome to the Connecting Point.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Yes, Tab and I talk every now and then, and I told her, I said, you know what? I want y'all to come on here and talk about love. Mm-hmm. So often we get the negative aspect of Black relationships, because we don't see a lot of our families staying together. Our children are coming up in single parent housing. And so I want to talk about, first of all, Tab, if you would go first and just talk a little bit about your journey as a mom and getting to the point where you are now. But give us a little background on who both of you are before we even get there. I'm sorry. I guess I'm excited. Give us a little background on who you are. I told a little, but y'all tell a little more.
Okay. I am Tabitha Green, used to be Tabitha Dorsey, and I am the mother of two. I was a business owner for 18 years, owned my own daycare, married to this wonderful man. So a friend of mine, he is just my friend. He is truly that. Yes. So God has placed us together, and we just thank and praise God for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Myself, I'm Martinez Green. This is my lovely wife right here, Tabitha Green. Like she just said, we have parents of two beautiful daughters, Claudia and Sandra. We've been married,
18 years.
18 some years.
Oh, has it been that long?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a ex-military also, so I'm retired. And also, me and my wife, we not only live together, we work together in the childcare industry.
We did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So not only we leave home together, come back home together, working together side by side every day, it's something.
Yeah.
It's something. Listen. Now I want I know you know, Tab and I have talked. I know the whole testimony. Good God,
Yes.
it had me almost in tears because I just love to see Black love in particularly. You know, I really do. And so, Tab, tell us a little bit about before you met this man here.
Okay.
Tell me what you were thinking, how you were feeling, the place you were in your life, of hopes that we will inspire some other people.
Well, I was at a place in my life where this is both our second marriages.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we thank God for that we knew when it was time to let go of the first, so that they could have their journey. Mm-hmm. And just knew that God was still going to place me as to be a wife. Mm-hmm. You know, so it wasn't like I was bitter, I was angry, right, or, you know, that destroyed me to where I never wanted to be married again. That wasn't the case, you know, and had a daughter, ended up having my second daughter, and, you know, just in prayer, praying to God that he would send me the right person for us, you know, me and my girls. Mm-hmm. And just going on about my everyday life, you know, I knew that it was going to happen, but I didn't know when, and I didn't have no time frame on it, you know, so I just was going through it. My husband now and my brother are best friends and were best friends then, you know, so they grew up together, best friends from third grade on through. And, you know, it just was, who would have ever thought that we would be married?
But you know what? Something you just said was you knew it would happen, but you just didn't know when. And so you went about your line of work.
Yes.
And, you know, I when you were talking, I was thinking about Ruth. And in the Bible, Ruth, she was working when Boaz found her. She was going about her business. She didn't go there to meet Boaz.
No.
She wasn't even looking in his direction. She went to work.
That's right.
To get something done and to gather. And he noticed her in her line of work.
Yes.
And so, you know, I'm saying this because so often, especially, you know, as women, we get anxious. And we go after the man, and, you know, I'm gonna put myself in his vicinity, and you're not even thinking about your purpose and calling, which you should be doing anyway.
That's right. Yes.
And so, you know, and I'm actually on here talking from a divorce. I've been divorced. I am divorced. But you know what? Let me change that. I am a person that has been divorced. But I am a wife.
Yeah.
Because you are that before you become that.
That's right.
So I'm trying to be very careful about my words.
Yes.
Because what you speak is what shall be. And so I changed that. I am not a divorced woman. I'm a wife waiting on the right one.
That's so true.
So that's what you did.
Yeah.
You desired to be married, but you didn't put yourself out there like, I'm just going to be a desperate woman.
No. I didn't, because I had the dream, and, you know, you and I, we have spoken about it. And I did myself. Some women it'll come different ways. But I was actually asleep and had the dream of me standing beside this tall man. Now, I didn't see my face. I didn't see his face, but I knew it was us. And I saw two girls. Well, at that time, I only had one daughter. Wow. So I was like, what is second baby? You know what? And it wasn't even a baby. It was a child. You know, so that was shocking too, you know, but then, like I said, I saw this tall man standing beside me. And
but you didn't know it was Martinez.
I didn't know it was him. I just saw the colors and I just saw how everything looked, and I have had dreams before. Mm-hmm. So when we actually he started flirting with me. Mm-hmm. and I immediately shut it down. Because
shut it down.
Yeah, my brother and him are best friends. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, no, that's not supposed to be. That's not supposed to be. But he told me that he knew from years before when he was a little boy that he said he knew I was going to be his wife.
Now don't tell his story. Let him tell his story.
Now this is the one he told me. You tell that part.
Look, you listen. I'm coming to you, Martinez. I'm getting Tab's standpoint of this, and I'm getting her standpoint first because often, like I said, as women, we get anxious. Mm-hmm. And I've been there before. I'm not talking about anything I haven't been through. Mm-hmm. I have been there. Yes. And it never works. Yeah. It never works to be anxious. And so we have to wait on the person that God has for us. And that's why I loved your story because Tab, I know what kind of family, I know how your mama raised you.
Yes. Yes.
And Tab don't come from a line of loose women.
No.
They loose quote unquote women. Yes. Who just throw themselves at men, and neither do I. Mm-hmm. And so, but it's becoming more and more difficult. I talk to my daughter all the time about relationships, and we're looking at it like, some of these women making it hard for us that want the right thing because they just throwing themselves at men. And you don't have to undress yourself. You can be classy. I just saw a post recently. A classy woman would turn heads with her clothes on.
So true.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if in society we are dumbing down. They are dumbing down because Marcy not dumbing down. They are dumbing down who women are. Mm-hmm. Or is it that men have a lack of respect now for a real relationship? And so now, Martinez, let's come on and bring you in here.
Okay.
Tab mentioned that you told her that you knew she was the one. Take us back to that moment. How did you know that? I mean, I'm just intrigued. How did you know? And what age were you?
I want to say, I know I was a child. I was probably about maybe 9. Mm. And I think in between the age of 8 to 10, somewhere around there. Like I said, me and her brother was best friend from childhood. So I knew it was around that age. And what happened was every day she would walk past my family house, walking to my cousin's house, because they were best friends at the time. Mm. And every day I'd just be out there waiting on her, because I was like, ooh, she is so pretty. And she'll be walking by so fast, I used to be telling my mama, do you see that girl? She knew her because she knew his family, And from that point on, I said, I got to find out who is this pretty young lady is, knowing she my best friend's sister. Yeah. So fast forward, we really didn't, I guess, pursue each other, me pursuing her till adulthood. Mm-hmm. And I guess we didn't really see each other in that manner, even though I knew when I was younger that I wanted her. And so as the time, proceeded on, like you say, you never know. There's not a time frame or that that things are going to happen. God's going to direct all of that, Right. So you just have to be patient. You have to be patient and let things unfold. And as they did, they unfolded. Here we are married. Yeah. And so
I love it.
Yeah. So that's how that happened.
So now you said you pursued her. Did I hear you correct?
Yes.
How did you pursue her? That's what I want. I want to know your perspective, and I want to know Tab's perspective. How did you know he was pursuing you? And then Martinez, I want you to tell me how you thought you were pursuing her.
Okay, so what happened was during me and her brother, sometime we'll go over to her house. I was already ironing, she didn't know what was going on, but I was like, let's go to your sister's house. He thinking we just going just to be going, visiting and whatever, but no, I wanted to get her number because I never got a number. Yeah. And so one time she ended up giving me her phone number and I would start calling her.
Yeah.
And that was, briefly off and on.
But before he got my number and he would come and see me.
Yes.
This one went on pretty much for a whole year.
Hold on, let me get to it.
Yeah, it went on for a whole year because I kept telling him no.
Yeah.
No. And that was when caller ID first came out.
We're dating ourselves, Tam.
So I would see the number pop up. And I'm like, why don't he stop calling me? Now I gave him the number, but I didn't really mean for him to,
use it.
Like, why don't he stop calling me? And then when him and my brother would come over, I knew what he was trying to do. But I'm like, I wish he'd stop. It's not gonna be nothing. It's not gonna be nothing. But he didn't stop. He didn't stop.
The sad thing about it is that I'm trying to hide it because I knew, I said, man, if Tommy find out that he's gonna kill me, it's just gonna be over. That's gonna be over.
Yes.
And so as time went on, what happened was my mother passed away.
Mm-hmm.
This all in the same time frame when she was telling me, hey, no, just wait. Yeah. Just wait. And my mother passed away. And that's when we really connected on so many different levels.
Yes.
And she was there for me. Yeah. She was there for me, the whole 9 yards, coming to my family house, calling, checking up on me, bringing food, whatever it was. Because now we built a semi-relationship.
A friendship.
Okay.
Listen at that, a friendship.
I just looked at him as a friend, and I didn't want him just going through that by himself. Well, his family, but I just wanted him to know that I was there for him.
Well, Tab is like that anyway. Audience out, she's like that. She's
yes.
She has that compassionate heart. But so Tab, you weren't attracted to him?
Not at all.
Wow.
Now I always thought he was nice looking and dressed to a T. Now that's my big thing. If a man can dress, I love it. So I knew all of it, and I knew that he had great goals, and I knew that his life was really like the fairy tale life, but I still was like, no, because at this time I had 2 children and he didn't have any children. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to impose feeling like my grown-up life, impose that on him. But he just continued, and just kept on and on and on, but it wasn't like pressuring me. It was more of, I just want to take you out. I just want to take you out, and I just kept on like, no, I don't think so.
Martinez, I'm just interested to know. I'm just interested to know. At that young age, how in the world did you know the right way to pursue a woman? And that, because you were how old again?
In around the age of 8 to 10, somewhere around there.
Okay, so you had to learn, because I'm looking at some of these men, they never did get it. So I'm trying to figure out, where did you learn that? Because what I'm hearing is the proper way that he pursued you. He didn't pursue you in any sexual form. Am I correct, Tam?
Correct.
Okay. he pursued you with respect and honor.
Yeah.
And so I want to know, where did you get that from, Martinez?
I have 3 older sisters. I'm a twin. I have a twin sister and 2 older sisters. And so I was raised in a house full of women, other than my dad. And so I will always look at the way that my dad treated my sisters, and also how he was always taught to them, or either my mother, or how guys should treat them. In my mind, I'm absorbing all of this because I'm like, okay, if I can learn from this, then I should be okay with the women, because I'm in the house with a full of women. And so, hey, I'm taking notes. And as this, that it gave me a better understanding of women, or some sort of balance of, hey, what they expecting, what they look for, or how a man should be, or how they should treat them. And so that's how they came about.
Wow, this is something, y'all. Listen here. Let's recap for the people that way in the back that didn't get it.
Okay.
Tab is a divorcee. She was a divorcee at the time, and Martinez.
Yes.
But he knew, even before marrying the first time, who the person was.
That's right.
That's right. That is something else.
It is.
You already knew when you were a child who the person was, but it's almost like you knew it inwardly, but you didn't, because you're so young. You don't really know how to deal with those type of thoughts and emotions. So you end up marrying outside of what you already knew inwardly.
Yes. Isn't that something?
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
How often do we do that?
I know.
Yes,
I know.
You know?
And then just to think about, we grew up like 10 houses away from each other, because he lived right up the street from us for years before he moved. They lived right up the street in between me and my best friend at the time. They lived in between us. So, and he was at our house all the time.
All the time.
That
is amazing. And I'm going to interject this right here too, that we probably need to deal with the elephant in the room, is that we just need to sometimes go ahead and admit God didn't tell us to marry who we married.
That's so true.
Yes.
That's so true. But a lot of times we don't even want to admit that.
We don't want to admit it. God did not say, but because his word is true, and he says he will cause all things to work together for our good. Now, we got wonderful things out of it too. I always tell my children, I got the blessings, wonderful blessings out of it.
Yes.
I learned lessons out of it.
Yes.
I learned what I want and what I don't want. So there, you don't go through things just to go through them. It is because it's something that God wants to show you. Because, when I was growing up and reading the book of Hosea, I said, now, Lord, why you tell him to marry that prostitute?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have done anything like that, Lord. Why you tell Hosea? You tell him to, but Hosea became one of the most powerful prophets. He obeyed God, and he married a woman of the street, they say. Okay.
But everything that we go through it for a reason. And I truly believe that we had to go through the first marriages that we did in order to set us up for this marriage. I do, because it let us know what we don't want and what we do want. And we knew that we wanted to be a married couple.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Marcy, cut you
Go
off.
ahead. Go ahead.
Just like what you're saying, it's an experience. I thank God for it, because it gave me the experience.
True.
It also made me a stronger man to be the man that I should have been back then, but it made me to the man I am right now, to be for her.
Yes.
You know, because
You did.
if I can't be the man that I'm supposed to be, how can I be the man that she needs?
That's so true.
You know, so that helped me tremendously.
So we talk about our marriages, you know, and we laugh about it, you know, but and I've never downed my first husband because I feel like he helped me to get to be this person.
Right.
You know, and even his ex, she helped him to get to be this person. And I thank God for her help.
Yes. Lord.
Yes.
But you know, lately here I've been praying. I said, Lord, I want your perfect will, not your permissive will.
That's right. That's
You know, there are two. Some things God just say, okay, you want it so bad, I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm at a stage in my life now. Lord, I don't give me that. Give me your perfect will.
That's right. So don't just I don't want to. And even with him, I knew I didn't want to just jump into something. That's why he waited that full year. Because I wasn't gonna just jump into that. You know, I had came out of a marriage, so it wasn't like, oh, I gotta be married. I knew I was going to be married again because, like I said, I saw it in a dream. But it wasn't a rush.
You weren't rushing, right? You weren't rushing, trying to. Yeah. And so, you know, if anything I can say about that whole thing is, we have to wait on God.
We do.
If you want the best, yes, you have to wait on God. And oftentimes God is preparing us and the other person.
So true.
That's why we gotta wait.
Yes.
And so, you know, I just want to encourage anybody out there, believe me, I know, women or men watching, you know, you have to wait on what you, and I think a lot of us settle for whatever, so we don't have to be alone, but you never alone in Christ.
That's right. It's so true.
You know, one thing my wife said, she said, let's give it a year. She said, if you come back to me in a year, then we'll see.
We'll see.
I love it, Tab. That we'll see.
And you know what? At first I like, now come on, stop playing. You know, come on.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I respect that. You know, and so I grew and she grew. I went back in that year. Now they short.
And he did.
He came back in a year.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Seriously. But you know what? That let me know he's for real.
He's for real.
You know, he's for real. Like I said, I had 2 children. Let me give you time to think about this. You know, is this what you really want now? You know, and so because I knew the life I wanted. So it was like, you know, and then even when we started dating, we really went into it just like, okay, we're having fun. We're friends. We're having fun. We are adults. We ain't gonna, you know, we're not gonna play like, oh, we together, you know. No, we're friends. I'm not gonna mess up your game. You know, don't you mess up my game.
We're friends. Look.
Yeah, we're friends, you know, because we were adults. So it was like, I don't want you to think I'm trying to hold on to you. If you want to date, you know, go out with somebody else. You go out with that person respectfully. And I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna be upset with you, because when you're going into dating, that's not your husband or your wife.
Tab, please say that again.
Yeah, you know, you
please say that again.
Hold that person. That's not your husband or your wife. That person is trying to see who they want to be with.
Who they want to be with. That's another thing in society we've I think gotten wrong, is we think if a gentleman is talking to us, he got to be exclusively talking to us. Well, Now I'm not for going around sleeping around. Now that you got people doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just going sleeping around or whatever. But no, your dating or courtship.
Yes, exactly.
Dating is courtship is a level up from dating, in my opinion.
Yes.
Dating is like an interviewing process. You
Okay.
just
Yes.
you're talking, you're trying to find the person out or whatever. But once you hit that courting stage,
Yes.
then you are looking more into wanting to be married.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And I think what's going on is people really not wanting to be married.
That's true.
And that's what dating is supposed to lead to, courtship and on, but it stops at dating. And I could date this person, I could date this person, I could sleep with this person, I could sleep with that person, I could sleep with her, I can just talk to her to get my emotion met, and sleep with this one to get my sexual need met. And so just don't want to marry and don't want to make commitment. Now, if you already know that's the kind of person you're dealing with, let them be that.
That's so
But
true.
you got your eyes on something different.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going on in society there. Don't nobody want to be married.
Mm-hmm.
True. I read this article maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and it was speaking on relationships, but it was saying that relationship nowadays, they are more how the other person is going to benefit the other one. It's more benefits.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So in my aspect of thinking about that, I said, I thought about like, wow, I think I kind of believe that is true.
Yeah.
People now, well, some and some not. Some do look at things as a business, than an actual love thing. Yeah.
Love.
Well, now I do think that there should be a partnership, because
Right.
when it's partnership, but it's based on love too.
Right.
When you're with, like, I look at you and Tab, y'all in a partnership too now.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It is I see it. I mean, you can't even deny it. So when you hook up with your, you have your purpose in life, and each one of you have different purposes in life,
Right.
but your purposes complement one another.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes more a partnership, because your purposes are complementing each other. That's what it means when God said, "Don't be unequally yoked."
That's
If your purpose is not complementing,
Mm-hmm.
or I cannot see me operating in my purpose with you, then that's not the person.
Mm-hmm.
You're not mad with the person or anything, but that's just not the person.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to complement each other, and both of you are supposed to be kingdom builders in what you're doing. Together, you're stronger.
True. So true.
So there's a partnership aspect, and there's a love aspect.
Right.
So I just, that's one thing I said I see in the both of you, is that you're working together. And Martinez, let's mention this again. Martinez came into a situation where there were already children.
Yes.
Oftentimes women think, I got kids, nobody's gonna want me. Or vice versa. A man may think, I got kids, nobody's gonna wanna, sign up for this. But Martinez did. How did you feel about that, Martinez? I mean, did you think of that at all, about, I'm getting ready to go into this relationship and she already has kids? What were you thinking?
No, actually, it didn't bother me whatsoever, because in my previous marriage, I wanted kids, but that never happened. So I always wanted kids, but God allowed me to get with her with already having kids, so then they can be my kids.
Wow.
So it's like it was designed the way how things work. It was designed for this to happen for me in my life. you know, so that's how, so I was so thrilled because you know, it's like, God, thank you, because you heard what I've been praying for years.
So
you know.
you were let me go back. You were
Mhm.
praying for this.
Yes,
Okay. Say that again, Martinez.
yes, I was praying
You
for it.
were praying for this.
Yes,
And so God honored your prayer and he gave you what you wanted.
yes, gave me what I wanted.
I
Yes.
just, you know, listen, y'all, if you listen, take note, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people out there that are single, take note. Because God has to be a part of the relationship. He has to be a part of the relationship. And you know, as I look back on, I got married right out of college. And see, when you start thinking about it, you're like, I wasn't ready to do that.
Yeah.
I wasn't you know, so you think about the decisions that you make. Did you make the decisions out of emotions, or were they a God-led decision?
Yes. Yes.
Now, when the marriage dissolved, I remember sitting in the courtroom. I was at peace with it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was listening to some of the other people that were you know, they put everybody in one room or something. And some of the women were so bitter. I said, you know what? God did me a favor. And like you, Tab, I had a dream.
Okay.
And I hadn't told people out in media, but I had a dream. You know, for those people who think that once you're married, you know, you got to stay in it. Let me tell you something. I had a vivid dream. When I have to tell you later what it was, but it was a vivid dream. A vivid dream. And I knew when I woke up, God said, get out of it. Now, the traditional church might have said, that's not what the word of God said. No.
Yeah.
I knew without a shadow of a doubt. That's how vivid it was.
Yes.
Come out of it. And I will never forget it. I have a friend of mine who's a minister, and I was on my way to work maybe a couple weeks after, and he called me that morning. And I said, you know, God told me to get out of this. And his first reply to me was, I don't know, you know, because when you grow up in that traditional setting,
Yes.
you think it like that. Well, the next morning, he called me. He gave me that scripture. He said, God has brought you to peace. You know the scripture I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes.
I can't call it right now. And I said, I already know that.
Yeah.
I already know it. And if I stay, there will be no peace.
Yes. That's right.
So I knew. So if you're out there and you're thinking, you know, you got to stay in something that's not good for you or the other person, that is not bringing God glory, then confer with the Lord. He will tell you.
That's right.
Like Martinez, I was praying. I said, Lord, do you want me to stay there? He was sending me signs, but you know that traditional feeling like I gotta stay.
Yeah.
My parents have been married over 50 years.
Yes, that's right.
But when you start looking at my grandparents never divorced. They were in their marriage till they deceased. So when you're coming from that background, you're like, okay, I gotta stay in this. I gotta stay in this for my kid. I gotta stay. But God does not want you to stay in something that does not glorify him, and there's no peace. Everybody's situation different. That's why I say you got to confer with God. But some people can go through experiences and God wants them to stay in it.
Right.
But in my case, he told me, and I got up. I didn't waste any time. When I got the confirmation, I called the first lawyer I can get.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I am serious. And so hopefully that will inspire somebody or to make somebody feel a little better about decisions that you make, if you put God in it, you will not go wrong. He will tell you in a way that you understand. He will tell you who your mate is.
That's true.
Yes.
That's so true.
Yeah.
He will
Because
tell you.
he will give us signs. He will give
Yeah.
us signs. You know, so if you ask him, he will tell you. Now, if you're gonna want to hear it,
It's
that's
another
up to
thing.
you. That's right.
And I like, because Martinez, he was persistent because he knew God told him before you tell.
Yeah.
God told him before he told you. And if he had not been persistent, all of that Tab kept saying no was rejecting. She was rejecting.
So true.
Hey, listen, Marcy, I'm so persistent to where, look, I tell her, I say, look, I remember what you had on.
No, you don't, Martinez.
Yes, he do. Yes, he do. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Martinez, you remember what she had on.
I'm serious, I did. From head to toe. Little pigtails and all.
and he's talking about when he was like 8 years old. He remembered what he had on. Because he told me this story one time, and he told me what I had on, and I remembered that outfit.
It was her favorite.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, it was her favorite.
And I was like, you really was sitting there at that age talking about you were gonna marry me. And we are 5 years apart. So I'm 5 years older than him. So I'm like, what were you talking about?
Oh, that's right, Tab. We didn't say that. Yeah, she is 5 years older than Martinez.
Yes. So, you know, it's like, I used to be like, boy, you was a little boy.
Now, Tab, boy, you ain't really ready to be.
And when he was pursuing me, you know, as an adult, I used to do that too. And I used to be like, boy, go on, you know, because him and my brother were friends. So I'm looking at him like, this a little boy, you know, go on now, you know, laughing and joking. And he used to say, just give me the chance to take you out, give me the chance to take you out. And he actually came to my house. And this was during the time when I was getting ready to start up my daycare. So I had beautiful living room furniture. It was all white and with 2 children, but it was beautiful. And I gave it all away because I was turning my living room into my actual daycare. And so he came to visit me. And the day he came to, the very first time that I let him come to visit me, kind of like a date, my baby threw up on it. He threw up all over him. He did not flinch. It did not bother him. He cleaned her up. He cleaned himself up, washed his hands, did everything, and went right back to playing with her. And I was
now,
like,
Tab, now you know, I know you had to notice that.
See, now that's when I started noticing.
Yes.
I'm like, it didn't, you know, bother you, you know, gross you out. You don't have kids, you know, because that with kids didn't bother me. And he was like, no, she's a baby. You know, she's a baby. And so
Lord.
I was like, I might like him a little bit.
It would be, look, it would have been in your best interest, and you see that now.
Yes. And so my sister at the time, she told me, she said, that's your husband.
Wow.
And I told her, no, that's not my husband. That's who you want me to be with. But she was like, no, that, and this was before she passed away. She actually put like 4 different couples together. She was like, that's your husband. And those couples went on and got married also.
Damn.
Yes. And she said, that's your husband. And
Tracy told you that.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Oh my goodness. Now, did Tracy know anything about Martinez liking you?
Yes.
I think she kind of, you know, picked up on it. And then I think I did tell her that he kept calling me. And maybe she would be at my apartment sometimes, now that I remember.
She would notice it probably.
Yeah, with calling up on the call ID. And she would say something like, That's him calling. I said, I ain't gonna answer. You know, call ID. I can see his name pop up. But she was like, your husband. And I said,
Wow.
see it, Tracy. I just don't see it. And she said, he is.
Isn't that
Yeah.
something?
Yes,
It's
it is.
amazing. It's amazing.
It is.
I just, I had to put you all on here because, during Valentine's season, people start getting depressed because
Yeah.
they don't have this person. Somebody didn't bring them a box of candy or flowers, and I'm tired of waiting. And I wanted you all to come on here to give people a sense of hope,
Yeah.
because there is joy in waiting on the
Yes.
right person.
It
And
really,
the right person will pursue you in the
Yeah.
proper way.
they really will. They will. And even with raising our girls, a lot of people think that they are his biological children
Mhm.
because he has been there from the beginning. He
Mhm.
has gone to every school conference, every cheerleading tournament, anything that they've done, taking them off to college, buying their first cars.
Mhm.
He's done all of that.
Mhm.
And nothing taken from their biological fathers, but
Mhm.
he has been daddy.
Wow. It's
Yes, he.
amazing. It is amazing. And it's a testimony that I just felt people needed to hear.
Mhm.
Listen, young women out there, because I'm getting really saddened by what I'm seeing. And girls, even high school girls just settling for anything.
Yeah.
Don't settle for anything. You are valuable. You are
Yeah.
worth a man pursuing you in the proper way.
So
Right.
true. So true.
You are worth it. Don't settle, because what you settle for is not the best.
Right.
That's
That's so
true.
true.
That's true.
It's not the
And just
best.
and just know that you can wait. Take time and wait. I knew at that time my goal was just my girls.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a man. I knew a man was gonna come,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't just want a man. I
You
wanted
wanted the one.
right man.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Because with my girls there, I had to have somebody who was gonna love both of them equally.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So, I had prayed for that also. I just wanted somebody who could, come in as, yes, they're both mine equally, and just love both of them that same way, and love me. And it was just so amazing that he took that role on. And he took it on and he ran with it. I mean, he has done a wonderful job.
And love is sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Love is sacrifice. If you with somebody that has not had any sacrifice, it can't be love.
That's
Because
true.
Jesus sacrificed for us.
Yes.
And that's why we know he loved us.
Mm-hmm.
And so Martinez sacrificed.
Yes. Yes.
He sacrificed and continues to do that to show his love. He loves you as Christ loved the church
Yes.
and
Yes.
sacrificed himself for it. Love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just intertwining here. Love, sacrifice.
Yes.
Love, sacrifice.
Yes.
Don't we
Right.
sacrifice for our children when we love them?
We do. We really do.
We sacrifice. So
Mm-hmm.
if you with somebody that you had seen them sacrifice and you doing all the sacrificing, perhaps that might not be the one.
That's right. Yeah. And even with the wedding vows, the vows that we say mean so much. And I didn't get it, because we're just repeating.
Repeating, right.
Yes. So we've been married, like I said before, and we've said these vows, but until these vows actually hit you in sickness and in health,
in health. That's it.
for richer and for poor. And when you are with those people, you say those vows because you go through those journeys.
Mm-hmm.
Those are journeys that you go through. And it's just amazing to go through those journeys, because then you really know, I really love this person.
Because
You know,
through the sacrifice parts.
yes. You've been through that, you know, and so many times a lot of people are not willing to go through those things.
Yeah, that's what it is. And so I want to commend both of you for being such a light to others. You know, what people don't understand, you don't have to say you're a light.
Mhm.
The light in my house is not saying, Marcy, I'm a light. I just know it gets rid of darkness.
That's right. That's so true.
And I know to identify it as a light. And
That's
so
right.
I appreciate y'all, and I see what you're doing with we got Claudia and Sandra. They're doing a wonderful job. Why? Because you both have sacrificed together. Your
Yes.
purposes have connected.
Yes.
And by your two purposes connecting, you're now able to bring them up.
Mm-hmm.
They are seeing, and they might not see it, but they see it too.
Yes.
They will know what to expect from a man
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
based
So
on what they've seen.
So true.
They will know. They will know. Now, listen, before we get off here, I want each one of you to speak. Tab, you speak to the women. Martinez, you speak to the men. Some type of words of encouragement or inspiration that can bring us all closer to doing the right thing when we're finding love, looking for love, accepting love.
First thing, like you said, is to pray. Pray, and when you pray specifics of what you want.
Come on, Tab.
What you want, what you need, but also let God know, God, I'm leaving it all in your hands. And then, young ladies, ask God to give you that sign to know that that is your husband.
Yeah.
That is the guy that you are supposed to be dating and leading into a marriage with. Also, be respectful of that man. Be respectful of yourself. Don't badger him, beat him up, belittle him. Don't do any of those things, because you have to treat them the same way that you want to be treated. And lastly, wait on God. Make sure that you wait. Our time is not God's time. And while you're waiting, wait patiently. Enjoy your life. Enjoy yourself. Go out with friends and do different things. And that way you're not just constantly trying to fall into a relationship because you got your mind on other things.
Right. Ted, let me say that again. Be specific.
Be specific. You definitely have to do that.
Yes. Yes.
What I would say to the men is that change your way of thinking, change your mindset, trust God, and go through the process. Because I know if God gave me the persistence to pursue my wife, He will unto you as well. I know if He gave my wife the vision of me, He will do the same as for these young ladies. So the best advice I can give is stay persistent, trust God, go through the process, and keep God in your life and in your marriage when that time comes.
Amen. Y'all got it. Listen.
Yeah.
Y'all got it from a couple that's doing the thing and doing it right.
Yes.
Y'all got it. So, apply those things, audience. And the most important thing is pray.
Right.
Yes.
And wait, don't pray and then go do what you want to do.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm just telling y'all out of experience, because I have done the wrong thing too. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Well, we
know,
all,
I have done the wrong thing. I didn't
yeah,
wait in some instances. Matter of fact, my marriage, I think I didn't wait. I just went.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, we did too with the first one. We did too with the first one.
no, but we are supposed to be growing and learning through life experience and becoming wiser. And so
Yeah.
we're just here helping you to be better, better.
Mhm.
Tab Martinez, thank you so much. If somebody wants to contact you to even speak on a platform for marriage couples, how can they do it?
Well, they can contact me at Tabitha H9 bellsouth.net, through Facebook, Tabitha Green. They can DM me. So anybody who wants to get in touch with me, they can.
And listen, they'll come shed some light on you.
Yeah.
And like I say every week, if you would like to be a part of this discussion on the connecting point with Dr. Marcy, reach out to me. You can Google Dr. Marcy's connections and contact me there, or you can email me at drmarcyts@gmail.com. Also, this show airs on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Instagram TV and YouTube. All I want you to do is click, like, share, and subscribe
Yes.
to the channel. Click, like, share, and subscribe, because this is about sharing to inspire others. Sharing to
Yeah.
inspire others. And so that's what we want. Click, like, share, and subscribe. And you can also connect with us, the Greens, myself, and many other creators through the Connecting Point for Creators group on Facebook. It's just a group of creators. We are there to network if we need to, promote each other, inspire each other. And so if you want to hook up with some like-minded people who always win, God always causes us to triumph. We win at what we put our hands to. If that sounds like something you want to connect with, look us up on Facebook, send us a request to join. We would love to have you.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. and Mrs. Green, thank you
Yeah.
again for your time and
Thank you.
sharing with us today. And audience, until the next time we get this moment, peace